In this problem, I need to solve the equation 5x to the fifth equals 405x cubed. Well, what type of equation do we have here? It's a polynomial equation, and what's the highest exponent on any of our x's? It's a 5. So this is a fifth degree polynomial equation. And you might be tempted to simplify it by dividing both sides by x cubed. But if you do that, you're going to lose some of your solutions. So what we need to do is get 0 on one side and then see if we can factor the problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 405x cubed from both sides of the equation. And when I do that, I get my 0 on the right-hand side. On the left-hand side, I have unlike terms. I can't combine them. So I have 5x to the fifth minus 405x cubed equals 0. So now we want to see if this equation will factor. Don't forget, the first step in every factoring problem is looking for a greatest common factor. Do these two terms have anything in common? Yes, both coefficients are divisible by 5 and both terms have x's in common. So I'm going to factor out a 5x raised to the which power? When both terms have x's in common, you always factor out the x raised to the smaller of the two exponents. So I'm going to factor out the x cubed. So when you factor 5x cubed out of 5x to the fifth, it's going to leave x to which power? Well, remember, you subtract exponents, so it's going to be 5 minus 3 is 2. So it's going to leave x squared minus, now when you factor 5x cubed out of 405x cubed, you've factored all the x's out, so you just divide 5 into 405 and get 81. So pulling out the greatest common factor leaves the binomial of x squared minus 81. Hopefully this looks very familiar. It's a special case of factoring, two terms, both of which are squares, so it is the difference of two squares. So I can factor this step further, so I'm going to get 5x cubed times the factors of x squared minus 81. So what is the square root of x squared? I need an x and an x. I need opposite signs in the two parentheses. It doesn't matter whether you put the plus first or the minus first. And then what's the square root of 81? So you're going to need a 9 and a 9. So now I have totally factored my polynomial into 5x cubed times the binomial x plus 9 times x minus 9 equals 0. Now I have three factors multiplied together equals 0. You set each of them equal to 0. So you get 5x cubed equals 0, x plus 9 equals 0, and x minus 9 equals 0. On the first one, 5x cubed equals 0. Divide both sides by 5. You get x cubed equals 0 divided by 5 is 0. Now you need to take the cube root of both sides, so x is equal to the cube root of 0, which is just 0. So your first solution is x equals 0. The next factor, x plus 9 equals 0. Subtract 9 from both sides. We get our next solution of x equals negative 9. And our last factor, x minus 9 equals 0. Add 9 to both sides. You get the last solution of x equals positive 9. So here are the 3 solutions to this polynomial equation.